What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Swing for the Fences show, as usual, with my two boys, Hoop, AP, breaking down this 10-game slate. Looks like we got one game with weather right now, the Detroit game. So besides that, it could be a 9-game slate. Looks like postponed is in the realm of possibilities. Could be a delay. Could be a lot of things. Again, we are a couple hours still from first pitch. So up to lock show Discord, we'll cover that. We'll cover like the game does play, but it very well could be postponed. And that is an interesting talk because of FanDuel. Lynn is making his first start back. He's only 5,500 on FanDuel. They just forgot that he was starting or something like that. So that is definitely big news, and we'll touch on that for sure. But Hoop, I'll throw it over to you first. I haven't heard on Saturday, Landon went 2-0 in the baseball tournament. How did Sunday end up going? And then anything else? Any golf sweats for you? Talk about your weekend.
Yeah, Sunday didn't go so well for the squad. They ended up losing on Sunday, but they played well over the weekend. Yeah, in terms of the weather, I think we're good, honestly. Like I pulled it up and it looked like everything got pushed back in Detroit. I mean, it's sunny skies right now. It looks like nothing's coming till like 10 o'clock-ish. So, hashtag boots on the ground. Like I got you covered. I think we're good to go. So I really don't think there's any concern at this point. Could obviously change, but I think everything got pushed back. So I think the Detroit game will be good to go. Lynn, yeah, kind of oversight. That's the problem with FanDuel right now in the pricing. It's like the bats are so cheap. It's like, do you even need to go all the way down there? So, I mean, that's the conversation to kind of have over there. And, soft pricing, I'd say, for the most part with the pitchers on DK as well. So it's a conversation that we'll obviously have when we start really digging into the slate. But yeah, weekend went well. We got a lot of guys advance in the UFC live final to the 30 group of 30, and then it goes from 30 down to 10. So that was good. Yeah, looking forward to getting to the grind here this week.
Yep, absolutely. We got a lot of familiar faces in chat. Mike Carr said AP, great call on Kansas City, Baltimore game stack yesterday. We got C-Dome in chat. What's going on, C-Dome? What a show on Friday. Big T, C-Dome, DC, and Holden. Yeah, I believe it was Holden. Maybe it wasn't even Holden, but four on the Up to Lock show, man, absolutely printed. We'll get to Big T, but a huge hit on Friday night. AP, throw it over to you. How yesterday looks like you had a pretty good day, according to Mike Carr. How was the golf streets for you? And I need a little prediction from you. I'll go to Hoop later, but we got Game 5 of the NBA Finals tonight. Big time, 2-2 series. I need a little prediction from you.
Yeah, so yesterday I had some good golf sweats, but man, Rory came back and shot like 8 or 9 under. That killed me. Rose was on a 58 watch there for a while. I didn't have any Justin Rose, but had an okay golf week. Feeling good heading into the major this week. U.S. Open, obviously, massive field, massive contest. I believe 3 Millie Maker is going to be a ton of fun. We're going to be doing our shows all week for that. And baseball, yeah, I mean, I wasn't like that heavy on that stack. I actually had this is like min cashes always suck. The one time they're good is when you're literally dead, have no chance at all of cashing, and then come from behind to min cash in like the craziest of ways. So if you saw the Texas game, I think what game went in extra innings, and then there's 3 runs put up, and then it went, then it got extended further.
Was it the Yankees?
No, the Yankees won like 16-1.
Oh, that wasn't the right
I don't think it was
one.
the Blue Jays. I think it was the Rangers game. And so I had a Ranger stack in there, and that came a little come from behind to min cash, felt kind of good. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad of a Sunday. Obviously, not as big as Big T's or even close to that. I mean, he had a monster one. But boys, we need to dial in the winners today. We got crypto crashing, stock markets crashing, things are all going to hell. Despite all of that, I feel good about the slate tonight.
I wasn't even going to bring that up. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to stay off Twitter as much as possible, not looking at.
You just gotta, don't look at it, but just have a good mindset about it. Title, come on, man.
It's one of those situations you hate to say it, but told you so.
I mean, what about those Tiger NFTs? I saw you tweet about those. Now,
yeah, that's the one. Is the one area where I caved. I had some faith in the DraftKings product. I did not envision DraftKings rolling out the movie Saw NFTs with like dudes' heads getting cut off in like mass and murder mass or whatever the hell you call it. Did not envision that. And that's when things went down. I said, yep, this was a bad investment. And yeah, the crypto market, not good. The real market, not good. And just everything.
We gotta get a pod going, because like the amount of money that was thrown into those things, and like I'm not throwing shade any other way, but it's like, man, the amount of liquidity money that was up there available for those things, and the amount of money that is still being paid for some of them was pretty incredible. I mean,
it's
Hoop, how many Tiger Woods ones do you have? You have like 100.
I had sold some. I mean, I think I'm down to like 50, but they're worth like nothing. I mean, I probably was in for, I don't know, maybe like 10 grand potentially. And I'm going to eat all that, but I did have some really good sales. I mean, I got one of those Tom Brady signed ones, and I sold that like right away for like 18 grand, like the next day. So, I mean, as much as I joke about the Tiger ones, I'm definitely still up on those things, because I got one of those Tom Brady, and there was an opportunity to flip some of those, very early on. But overall, everything just appears to be heading in the wrong direction. We need a change, and we need something to change rather quickly here, and it's getting bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good reminder. Yeah, first, Hoop, check your mic. I think you're probably maybe your AirPods or something. Usually you sound a little better than that, but just double check that. But hey, it's a reminder, because I was thinking about this morning. Obviously, it's not fun when everything's going down, but it also shows there's a lot more important things in life than money. I mean, money can only buy so much, and the relationships you build, the health. Money can't buy health. Money can't buy certain relationships.
No, money is very important, my man.
Of course it's important, but there's a lot more important things than money.
Title's just sitting here speaking way too much truth, man. I'm ready to dial in for the slate.
All right, before we do dial in, though, I want your predictions on the NBA Finals tonight, AP. Then I will go to Hoop to make sure the mic's all good, too. I need his predictions. And I'll give mine a little bit, too. I know JSU and BigT were on the show prior, premium side. You have to be a member, can watch it back, talking more the DFS. I didn't watch it yet, but they gave their breakdowns. I need your prediction, though. Warriors, Celtics, Game 5. What do we see today?
Yeah, I got the Dubs tonight. I think Curry is, man. I mean, I think this is their last go at it, and I think they all know it. All those guys are getting up there. They're old. I think this is their last chance to get a title. I think Curry gets them one game closer tonight and gets them the win.
Hoop, any predictions over there?
Yeah, my mic was on the AirPods. It was a disaster. So we're switched over. Good to go now. Should sound better. I got Boston. Just I can't root for the Warriors. I hate Draymond. Like, he's such an idiot. So give me Boston tonight.
I'm with Boston as well. I mean, I was on them in the beginning of it. They're just the better team. But man, if Steph carries this team and does it pretty much by himself.
Everyone keeps saying that about the Warriors, but they keep winning. I mean, that's the one thing I don't get.
It's 2-2.
Well, no, I know, but they won in Boston. So it's like, and they're in the finals. But every step of the way, people have been like, oh, the Warriors suck. They're not the best team in the series. And I'm just like, well, I think eventually they might just get it done. But I mean, I'm with you guys. The Warriors are tough to root for, but I think from a money standpoint, I like them tonight quite a bit.
You slide in, AP. I'm down to get some cheese on that.
I mean, are you going to give me better odds than like the book or something?
We'll do the VIG free. So yeah, we both get better.
We'll do
odds.
Something.
Cool. Sounds good. We got before we got to Uncle T Celtics season. You like that? We got Make It Happen. Warriors in 7. See Ron Rice, GQ, KJ, Max and Jones, Richie Smalls, Gary. What's going on? We appreciate all of you hanging out with us. I like David Smith's Jr.'s chat or his comment earlier. He said, I hit the like button on this 16 hours ago to hopefully get the good mojo going early. That's what we like to see. We got 318 watching, 87 likes. Hit that like button, hit that big red subscribe button. Going to break down these 10 games for you, give you some winners. And man, the likes have been a little hurtful lately. We need some big boy numbers to get the plays of the day, especially with Hoop on the show. So hit that like, hit that subscribe so I don't have to keep saying it. Let's dive into pitching, though. Let's start on DraftKings, of course. Sandy Alcantara at 10.2K. I'll say Alex Wood at 8.3K AP. Give me 8.3K Wood to Sandy up at 10.2. How are you breaking down that top range?
Yeah, I have a feeling, on here with two absolute cash goats that we're all going to be aligned when it comes to top tier pitching. Erin Nola, for me, is the top guy. And I don't think it's necessarily close up here everything about him looks good. He's you know, I mean, what he's, I think it's like, if you look at his last, like, I could be talking about the wrong guy, but I think he's pitched like at least seven innings over his last 6 or 7 starts.
You got the right guy.
Right guy, yeah. I mean, he's just looked phenomenal. He looks like the most dominant pitcher on the slate tonight. So I love the matchup too against the Marlins 10-1. Absolutely love him. I think the question becomes, what do you do at the SP2 spot? Because we have some spots tonight that we're going to want to stack up. We're going to talk about it for sure. And so I think the SP2 is the question on tonight's slate for sure. But just walking through here, I think in tournaments, you want to play Sandy Alcantara, another just really strong overall pitcher, has a long leash, doesn't have the strikeout upside as Nola, but has really good command. The guy I'm off of, or I guess the pair I'm off of, is Alex Manoah. I can't pay that price for him when Nola and these other guys are right around that same price. Javier, about the same thing. I respect this Texas lineup, so I don't want to go there. And then Lance Lynn, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, but I initially wanted to like him, but this team is just kind of a disaster right now. They have so much going on. He had I think 3 rehab starts heading into this one. One was last week in AAA. I think he got absolutely shelled. Like, they pulled him at 77 pitches after like 3 or 4 innings. And I think he gave up multiple runs and just got absolutely shelled in AAA. So not a good sign. But the matchup here against Detroit is like the most favorable matchup that you could get. So he is, an absolute veteran stud, former stud. And it wouldn't surprise me if he had a good outing. But when you factor in the weather, I don't think I need to take on that risk with Lance Lynn. So for me up top, it's Erin Nola, and it's not close.
Yep, I like it. Hoop, go to you. Same thing. Alcantara, 10.2K down to Alex Wood at 8.3. What you got up top?
Yeah, I think for me, it's definitely Nola as my favorite. And I think most people will kind of have that mindset as well. But after him, like, Alcantara is super interesting for a couple of reasons. Like, he's been pitching so well. I mean, just absolutely dominant. 22, 26, 36, 45, 32, 28 fantasy points in his last 5. And the one thing that kind of stands out when you start looking around, no one's really projecting him all that high tonight. So I think he has a chance to come in, lower owned than he should be for how well he's pitched. So I think he's very interesting in tournaments. A lot of people will probably just pay up once and it will be Nola. I think Alcantara has a chance to go overlooked. I'll definitely be on him in tournaments. After him, I'm just going to avoid all those, most of these other guys like Manoah, Javier, definitely Lynn, Josiah Gray. And then I'll come down to like Darvish and Alex Wood, who I have interest in at 8.4 and 8.3. Just seems like fair price tags. Darvish coming off a solid start, but with him, it's like there's a low floor. There is some risk. And then Alex Wood gets a good matchup at home, which we always like pitchers in that ballpark, against Kansas City. And he's been pretty solid his last 3 starts, 15, 14, 20 fantasy points. He's gone at least 5 innings. Could be enough on the slate. There's not like a lot of pitchers I think they can go for like big boy numbers tonight. So if a guy goes and gets you 20 in this price range or upper teens, you'll probably take it. So it's very clear for me, like Nola, Alcantara, Darvish, and then Alex Wood. I have interest in all of them.
Yeah, I mean, the Alcantara, like, the projection I'm seeing on him just looks absolutely wrong on him.
I don't get it. Yeah, I mean, I really don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, he's been so good, and I mean, when you're rolling, I mean, he's been decent for a while. He throws hard. He has good stuff, and man, I expect to see a pitcher's duel for sure with Philly and Miami. So I definitely like going Alcantara, and I don't mind if you want to pair Nola and Alcantara. Just take your points and run with it. But yeah, I mean, obviously you got to pay for some bats. We will get to the Lance Lynn talk. I'll just go right there, Hoop. For Lance Lynn, you touched on it a little bit, where FanDuel 5.5K and DraftKings 5.5K are 2 completely different things, because you can play anyone pretty much on FanDuel with the salary. It's not nearly as tight, but still 5.5K, whereas you look at him on DraftKings, 9.6K. He gets the Tigers, so we're not too worried about. Assuming the weather's good, how are you going to approach him on FanDuel?
As of now, I'm gonna be off of him. I get the price tag 5.5, and the projections are definitely gonna like him because he's 5.5, and over the years he's had some solid upside, but he's probably gonna get ownership here. And like you said, and other people have backed up in the chat, like the rehab starts have been a disaster as well. I don't think there's much weather risk here, but some people are indicating that they think there might be a potential issue with weather. I'm just going to be off of him. I mean, I guess if you're making like 100, I'm not doing 150 on FanDuel. If you are doing 150, maybe you include him. But man, like what's his true upside here? Even though the matchup's good, the matchup is very good. Like I just don't know if there's really that big time upside. If he was cheap on DraftKings opposed to FanDuel, then I'd have more interest because you got that 2 pitcher side on FanDuel. It's hard to prioritize a guy with so much question marks when, salaries are the pricing overall is pretty soft. So even if you play him, like how much are you really getting at the bats? Because you can play most of the bats you want with playing a 10K pitcher. So probably a no for me. If you're doing 150, maybe include him, but it's hard to gauge his ownership too. Like, is he going to be highly owned? I kind of think he is, so I guess long story short, I'm off him tonight.
Yeah, I mean, if weather was completely fine, again, I think that has a lot to do with it. If it's a green light for everyone across the industry, I definitely think he's going to get some decent ownership because it's a 10-game slate. Like you can find bats. If you want to just pick the highest price bat at every position, some people want to do that. So I hear you for sure. You want the quality start on FanDuel. You want the win. There's Nola, Alcantara, all that stuff on the slate. Someone's going to put up a big boy score, and you don't want your pitcher sitting there at 15. So I definitely hear you. AP, I'm going to go to you in the lower range. Brady Singer at 8K, all the way down to Zach Thompson at 4.3K. William in the chat said, I'm going low today. He said Thompson and Garcia for him. There's Mike Minor down there, 4.7K. I think there's some options you can go low and pay up for some stacks. What are your thoughts on this lower range?
Yeah, let me touch on. So 2 guys I had written up to, and I failed you title. I didn't go down far enough, but Darvish and Wood. I mean, Darvish, I'd like the one thing about you, Darvish, is like we know he has the long leash. He can pitch deep into a game. The one thing I don't like about him is the numbers just don't look good. I don't think he's getting a lot of movements on his pitches. He hit 3 batters last time out. He had a good fantasy outing, but man, he dusted 3 dudes. Always kind of a concern there, and then Alex Wood. My only problem with his is like in tournaments, I don't know if he's going to get you the upside that you want. He hasn't shown it all season. And the one thing the Royals don't do is strike out a lot. They're not good, but they don't strike out a lot. And they have been hitting the ball a little bit better. He's better against lefties. MJ Melendez is one of the better left-handed hitters that the Royals have right now. So, I mean, that is a benefit that he is good. He'll be able to get by him, but I do have concerns about the upside there. And I do like the idea of going down at SP2 today, because I think there are a few guys that could potentially match, the numbers. Like Mike Minor is definitely one of the guys I'm looking at. When you look at it on the surface, when you look at his last 2 starts, man, I think he's given up multiple home runs. Hold on, I had the numbers right here. So he's given up 5 home runs to 8 innings pitched. So honestly, he was in Cincinnati, though, obviously a good home run park. The weather was hot, I believe, on those days, so it was a favorable hitting environment. We can factor that in. One other reason, though, why I like him is he's shown the strikeout ability. When we're looking at a guy that's 4,700, okay, if the strikeouts are there, it can justify some run production given up. And he's averaged a little bit over a strike per inning, which, isn't like crazy good or anything like that. But look, the guy's 4,700. The other thing too is if you look at Arizona, the team is going to be facing today, they put up 14 runs yesterday. They absolutely went off. Now they're traveling back home to face him. More often than not, I don't have any stats to back this up, and I would like your guys' opinion. Anytime we see a team go off like that, how often do we see like them kind of fail the next day? It seems like they put up, have like an average day. So you're talking about a veteran and Mike Minor who struggled in his 2 starts, but he's 4,700. Frees up whatever stack that you want, even pairing him with Nola. You can full stack the Braves. You can get Toronto in there. Frees up everything, in my opinion. So I'm going with Minor as my SP2 today. I like him quite a bit. There's a lot of risk around him. I mean, he could get blown up here too. If you think that's the case, you should stack against him. That's all I'm saying. But I like him today. I think he could do just enough to justify that 4,700 price tag.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I think there's multiple options. Minor is definitely one of them. I mean, you're not going to feel comfortable rostering Mike Minor, but that is why he's 4.7K at the end of the day. Hoop, I'll go to you in this lower range too, from Brady Singer down. Talk about Zach Thompson a little bit. I see people talking about him in chat. Pittsburgh's a team I like to target, so I think he's viable. 4.3K is pretty much free. Ronnie Garcia for the Tigers, 5.5K. Someone mentioned Flexen in there. So what do you like from Singer all the way down?
Yeah, I mean, it's very simple for me. It's just the two guys straight at the bottom, and I like them quite a bit. Mike Minor at 4.7K, like, why not? Especially on a slate like this, where, yes, I mean, I do think there's some guys that could put up big boy scores, but in this type of slate, if Nola gets you 20, Alcantara gets you 20, and these guys down here get you like 14 or 15, these guys are the play. So I'm good coming all the way down. Mike Minor at 4.7, and then Zach Thompson at 4.3K. I just, a lot of people will, play one of the top guys and then, maybe, go a little cheaper at our SP2. But man, I think these guys are both strong plays. And because they're here and they're so cheap, I just don't see the reason to go to that like next tier, the 7K, 6Ks and Ronnie Garcia. I'll just come all the way down and upgrade bats. So that's, my plan on DK. I talked about Lance Lynn on FanDuel and, maybe not needing to do that. It's just different on DraftKings where you can play two pitchers. So really like Minor. I really like Zach Thompson. I mean, it's a, phenomenal matchup for Zach Thompson. He could have a ceiling game. What's his ceiling? I don't know, maybe like, 15, 16, 17 fantasy points. You take that and you move on and you hope those big boy bats, pay it off for you in your lineup. So interested in Minor and Thompson.
Yeah, man, the more I'm talking, if Minor's going to get up there like 25, 30%, personally in tournaments, I think I'd rather stack against them, but I hear you. I mean, it opens up so much. I think I lean Thompson, but you look at that in St. Louis too. I mean, the weather is pretty warm. The winds are blowing out a little bit. So that is a little downgrade too. I mean, if you're paying 4.3, 4.7K for these guys down there, can't expect 20 plus from them, but yeah, clicking Mike Minor's name in 2022, little uncomfortable. Ronnie Garcia, Thompson, stuff like that. So I'll go back to you. Hoop, give me your top 4 pitchers that you'll have the most exposure to.
Yeah, it's going to be like Nola. No, honestly, probably Nola and the 2 cheapies are going to be like my top 3 most likely. I mean, I haven't started building yet. It kind of depends on that. And then, Alcantara I like quite a bit too.
I like it. Hoop, go, or AP, what is your top 4 pitchers today?
Yeah, I mean, probably Nola up top. He's like the guy I would just lock in and then, mix and match those cheap guys. So depends on how many lineups you're building. I just, gosh, like if Yu Darvish beats me, he beats me. I mean, who knows? I'm not trusting what I'm seeing right now. And looking at it, I think that's going to be a popular build path today. So, I mean, you could get different by going to some of these guys in the mid tier. That might get you different. You can always find a bat to make it work. However, I'm just going to hope that, these cheap guys don't get shelled.
Yeah, I think there's viable options in all 3 tiers. Alcantara, Nola, Manoa, all the way up top. Alex Wood, Yu Darvish sitting there in the mid tier a little bit. Even Ian Anderson's there at 7.7. We haven't talked about him too much. And then all the way down, Garcia, Mike Minor, Zach Thompson, and who knows? DC is a big Kyle Bradish guy. I don't think today is going to be the day he goes to him against Toronto, but hey, who knows? You'll have to find that on the Up to Lock show, on the premium show. If you're not a member and you do want to be a member, RPS Heater 25 gets you 25% off to hear DC's takes, to hear the basketball Showdown show. What, 150K to first, I believe, again today. JSU BigT just broke that down for a while. The golf premium show that we have every Wednesday. What, the US Open this week, boys? 3 milli makers. I saw a $15 one. It's pretty tasty, $100 one. So big weeks. We have a lot of premium content over here. RPS Eater 25 gets you 25% off. Smash that like button is right, Peter Porker. We got about 500 watching, 180 likes. I was told 300's got to be the number going forward. So 300 should be pretty easy to get. We'll get you the plays of the day. We got 10 games to break down still. So hit that like, hit that big red subscribe button. Then I got to shout out some members never win segment, members and coordinators. Lycan 8888. I see you just in YouTube chat right there. 25,000 in MLB. Congrats to you. Steve Boynton, 36K in NBA. Who runs more pure than Steve? One's that a couple weeks ago. We still shouting you out, Steve. Congrats to you in a sport that you, college basketball guy, you ship in NBA. That has to be a good feeling. Congrats to you. Punisher, 50,000 in MLB. Hoop, 75,000 in MLB. C. Jacobs, 986, 90,000 in PGA. Then Dunkel, the big $100,000 in NASCAR. Congrats to you, Dunkel. What a sick team yesterday. And then Big T, of course, Friday night, 167,000 in MLB. The Up to Lock show, the premium show, if you guys weren't a member, Big T hopped on with Chris Cedone, Chris Rendon, and it was Steve Boynton was the other one with DC. Those four, man, awesome show. Big T goes, Jace Peterson's going to be in every single one of my lineups. I believe second inning, hits one out. The Toronto stack, they're all over. I mean, everything that they were on that show pretty much came true. So awesome show. Congrats to you, Big T, 167,000 big ones. Got Greg, we got Robert, Josh in chat. There's Lycan right there. Caesar Martinez, what's going on, Caesar? Skywalker, Brandon, appreciate all of you hanging out with us. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. But let's go game by game as always. Talk about some bats we're interested in. First game of the night. I don't think there'll be too many bats for you guys in this game, but Miami Marlins, Philadelphia Phillies, Alcantara and Erin Nola on the mound, the two highest priced pitchers. Got a 7.5 total hoop. Just is it pretty easy making 9 games when it comes to bats, or any one-offs or anything you like?
Yeah, I mean, I just have no interest here. There's some good offensive spots on the slate that we'll talk about. I just think coming here is too cute. I mean, it's the two best pitchers on the slate. You know, if you have some sort of read on this situation, you see a flaw in one of these guys that the other team can expose, sure, but I'm not seeing it, and I see really no need to go here whatsoever.
AP?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I like the pitching here. Not really too much else to add. I mean, if you like to get fully different, you could go here, but I think it's like if you're playing 150, but even if I was playing 150, I don't know. I don't even think I would get to this spot.
I'm with you. I'll go back to you, AP. Atlanta Braves, Washington Nationals, Ian Anderson and Josiah Gray on the mound. Got a 10 total here, so pretty good. I mean, man, it's the Braves. Braves on the road. They're guaranteed 9th inning at bats too. That lineup is always a nice one to target. Do you have any interest in either of these two bats?
Yeah. So Josiah Gray, while he's shown decent stuff, he's an extreme fly ball pitcher. Averages right around 2 bombs per 9 innings. Lefties are usually the way to target him. So I'm looking right at Matt Olson, probably the top first baseman on this slate. Highly, you got to think that, he has home run upside. You could also play Albies, Michael Harris too, another lefty that you could go against him very cheap there in the outfield. But yeah, I am fully on the Braves again today. They're hitting very well right now. We're going to see run production in this game. 90 degrees out there in DC. Not like a ton. I mean, very, very good hitting environment. So, I mean, all of these guys on the Braves side, I think, are in play. So it comes down to how you want to stack it. I do think it's going to be a day to where it kind of reminds me of maybe like a Yankees type of day, where outside of yesterday, which we saw those Yankee stacks go off, usually what you see is like a lot of random home runs and stuff. So I think from the Braves side today, you target power, you look at the lefties, and you do it with like a 3 or 4 man stack, and that's how you play it. And then same could be said. Ian Anderson's been decent. He's had some okay starts, but he does give up hard hits, and you start to see that as the innings go on. I think against Oakland, it was a good example. He had such a strong start, and then there in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th inning, man, he started giving up some hits, and even a shitty team like Oakland kind of got to him a little bit. He still paid off on that slate, but the hits were there. It was just in a bad park. And so, in this environment, it would not surprise me if guys like Juan Soto, Josh Bell ended up getting it done against him. So I like both sides of this game. And I think you can stack it up in many different ways.
Yeah, I like it. I'm glad you mentioned the weather too, because I was going to bring that up. It's really hot. And I mean, I always look at weather in MLB. I always look at parks. The ball flies. And if it's a short park, the ball flies a little more. You want to target that. I will say it is warm in Philly as well, for Miami, Philadelphia. So we're not too interested in those teams, but hey, if you want to get different and you wanted a little push to why to play those bats, it is warm in Philly as well. Who Braves Nationals, talk to us about bats.
Yeah, I mean, Braves appear to be in a really good spot here tonight. And again, it's a lineup we talk about all the time. It's a great lineup for DFS because you can play everybody in this lineup. Like there's some degree of upside with every bat in this lineup. Makes it very easy to stack with this team, makes it very easy to use in mini stacks or 3-man stacks. You can fill a lot of different positions when you stack the Braves. So I think it's a very good spot. Obviously, this total sitting at 10, it has come up a little bit. So yeah, definitely interest in the Braves, and then moderate interest on the National side. I mean, Ian Anderson is not a lockdown pitcher by any means. And I like this lineup kind of that they threw together here. You get a cheap outfielder right at the top in Lane Thompson. You obviously have Soto in here. You have Josh Bell. You have a high upside catcher in Ruiz. Should be, pretty low owned when you stack up the Nationals versus like the Braves and the Blue Jays and the Astros on the slate. Like those are the teams that are going to be very highly owned. A team like the Nationals, not so much. You got a big total here that has come up. So definitely a little interest in the Nationals. I will have them, I'm doing about 20 teams. I will be getting some exposure to the Nationals tonight.
Yep, I like it. I think both sides are definitely viable, and AP and Hoop agree. So 3 for 3 there. Good hitting environment. Next game on the slate, the Baltimore Orioles, the Toronto Blue Jays, Kyle Bradish and Alex Manoah on the mound. Blue Jays have a big boy total. Bradish is a reverse splits guy as well. And you look at Toronto's lineups, it's full of good right-handers. So I think it's a good spot for them. We did just see that the roof will be open in Toronto as well. Hoop, I'll go back to you, talk about this game.
Yeah, I'm assuming it is hot there in Toronto. It's kind of heated up just about everywhere. Not sure what the temperature is, but the roof open obviously is an improvement for the bats here. And I wouldn't be surprised if this total shoots up like a half a run. It was sitting at 8.5. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes up to 9 with that roof open, which just spells more trouble for this Bradish guy. I know a lot of people are high on him and, maybe long-term he's going to be a good pitcher, but it has not been good lately for him. And this is probably the worst possible matchup for him. Reverse splits pitcher coming to Toronto and facing this lineup with Springer, Bichette, Guerrero. You got Kirk, who's been hitting phenomenally well.
He might be the best catcher in the league now. Catcher. I mean, man, Kirk is just a stud.
Dude, these Toronto catchers have treated us so well all season
Danny
long.
Jansen,
Kirk,
when he's in
Jansen, my boy Zach Collins from early on in the season.
Yeah.
These dudes smash. Short little fat dude too. I mean, it's funny to see it. He gets the job done. But then
the ball goes though. That's for sure.
Yeah, Espinal's been phenomenal. Gurriel's had some big games. I mean, this is just seems like an explosion spot. I mean, Bradish, like I said, long term, maybe he's going to be solid. Right now, he's been complete ass. And this is a really bad matchup for him. And then on the Orioles side, I'm not really playing Manoah just because of the price tag and the other guys I like, but I'm also not playing the Orioles bat. So Blue Jays at a very heavy rate, my favorite team here on the slate, and that's not saying much. I mean, they're going to be popular, but like we always talk about, you can go to the bottom of this lineup and mix some guys in. Like Gurriel, I think is a great play down here at the bottom. Batting 7th will keep his ownership in check. So strong team here.
I mean, and there's also, it's a 10-game slate, and there's multiple teams with an implied total over 5. And you look at it, like we got Espinal. I mean, we were on Espinal back when he was 3.5K, all that. He's 5K right now. So if you want to play this team, you got to go low at pitcher, which there are some viable options. We talked about it, and it breaks the bank. So they'll get some ownership, but today is a slate where I wouldn't worry about ownership. If you like a team, you like a 5-man stack it up. The ownership will be fine for sure. AP, go to you. What do you like in bats for this game? And it's also 70 degrees, by the way, Gary said. So that's what the temp is. AP, go ahead.
Yeah. Bradish, maybe long-term, pretty good stuff out there, but gives up a lot of home runs right now, especially to righties like Hoop said. So, I mean, I don't have like a ton to add. I mean, this is odd. Usually Mondays I find some stuff to disagree with you guys on, but today we are all locked arm in arm, which, makes me feel pretty good. But, what I look at it is I want, some of these guys, their prices are way up there, and it's going to be hard to fully stack them up. I might, just thinking through this, if you want to stack 1 through 5, actually I would rather get our boy Lourdes Gurriel. He's really starting to hit up like multiple hit games, like 3 or 4 games in a row. The guy is really heating up. So I'd probably go him over Hernandez. But even if you were trying to stack 1 through 5, it would be very difficult to play one of these top pitchers. So I might take a look at like double punt builds and stuff and just load up on all this power. Maybe we get a slate where you like the bats just get it done and you only need 15 out of each pitcher. I mean, who knows? That might be the way to get different. That being said, I have a ton of interest in this spot. Gurriel, tons of interest in him. Kirky, Vlad, Bo Bichette, George Springer, all are phenomenal plays. Love the right-hand hitters here. And then Biggio, their second baseman. He looked good yesterday, too. He's been hitting the ball. He's a lefty, really cheap. I think you can play him for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is, like you said, I think one of these offenses will score 10-plus runs today. And like you'll need a certain offense where you go double cheap at pitcher, they get you 12, 13 or something. I think we see a couple hitters go double dong tonight, and you'll need those bats.
Real quick, so Hoop, you're running 20, you said. Do you think you'll have any builds where you're looking double punt, or are you going to use? I mean, no, it's really tough to do that with Nola. Like Nola, I mean, man, it seems like the worst range of outcomes. I mean, this isn't it, but it seems like 20 probably in this matchup. But is that anything that you're like, are you going to run any double pump builds?
Yeah, like I said, I haven't fully built yet, but I would, if I can get everything I want at offense and I got to pump both those pitchers, I'm fine doing it. Because I do think there's an outcome on the slate where no starting pitcher goes for over like 25. And that's where you really get hurt on those double pitcher punts. If you see like a 30 or 35 fantasy point performance, I really think you can get away with, potentially get away with it tonight. What you're banking on is like Nola and Alcantara staying under that 25 marker. And then you get, those 2 cheap guys that maybe get you 28, 29 total. And then that's a win. At that point, that's a win if those guys get 28, 29 total and those top pitchers stay under 25. So I'm open to it tonight for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like if 1 through 5 of Toronto, who's all 5K and above, absolutely go off, you just can't get to Nola and okay. Yep. I mean, so yeah, it's an interesting slate. It's a good slate for sure. Multiple pitching options and multiple tiers, multiple good spots of hitting. It's warm across on the country. So yeah, it's a great slate for sure. Before we get to the next game, 540 watching right now, 225 likes. Just want to remind 300 is the number going forward, 300 likes, and then that big red subscribe button. Hoop said we need 10K subscribers. It's gone up a little bit since last week. We're at 9.12K right now, but man, I guarantee you I would say about half the people that have not hit that big red subscribe button. Do us a favor, make Simon happy behind the sticks, hit that subscribe and that like button. Next game on the slate. We got the Chicago White Sox, the Detroit Tigers, Lance Lynn and Ronnie Garcia on the mound. 8.5 total here. I'll go to you first, AP. Didn't have really any interest in Lance Lynn. Any Tigers for you? And then talk about the White Sox.
Yeah, I mean, Tigers have been an absolute disaster, but just thinking through kind of build structures, if you were trying to play, those 2 high-priced guys in Nola and Alcantara, you're going to need some cheap bats. You could make the case for maybe a Robbie Grossman, 2.6K, maybe throw in like an absolute punt at catcher, maybe G. Risen's boy, Spencer Torkelson. I mean, I can't do it. Like these guys are terrible right now. And it's it does have me looking at Lance Lynn just because he was supposed to go 70, 80 pitches in his last rehab start. If he could go 6 today against this lineup, he could get it done. But we have weather risks. And so that kind of takes him out of the equation. And 2, it's just, it doesn't matter how dusty these guys are. It's just such a difference going up to the majors. So on paper, Detroit looks a lot better than what they are. Meadow, you got some respectable guys in there, but man, they've been terrible. So I'm going to be off of them. But if you're multi-entering, I mean, I wouldn't mind taking a shot on some of these guys against Lance Lynn. Maybe he comes in and just looks absolutely dusty there and gets blown up. And I'm going to be off the White Sox too. So just not a fan overall of this game.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And speaking of G. Risen, I saw on JT Sweet podcast, G. Risen was on with Uncle T and Holden stopped in for that too. So JT does a great job on that podcast, having people on. The Old Man's Pod from football, they were talking some MLB, so check that out. And then AP, I see you have the premium article today on the website. That is where your core will be found for any members looking for AP's core. Then I see Gary's got the free article up there so that everyone can see. So head over to Run Pure Sports, go to the articles, click MLB. We have articles every single day talking about some baseball from one of the coordinators. So check out AP's core in that. Hoop, I'll go to you. Your Detroit Tigers, the White Sox. Talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, nothing here in terms of bats for me. I mean, I think it is an interesting like leverage type spot, especially on FanDuel, I guess, like knowing Lynn's going to get some ownership going against him and picking some of these Tigers bats. But man, like, where do you start when picking Tigers bats? It's been an absolute disaster all season long. So just don't see the upside. I'm definitely off the Tigers side. And the White Sox have just kind of been a pitiful offensive team all season. The one guy, though, that I do like and I'll continue to play is Mr. Jake Berger. I mean, dude just gets fantasy points every single night, and a lot of them. 22, 22, 15, 21, 31, 15, 25, 9 in his last, whatever that is, 8 games. Dude's a hitter, and he's hot, and he's still cheap, I believe, on DraftKings at
4K.
Yeah, 4K. That's, it's come up a little bit, but 4K is a fair price tag. So I'm going to continue to play Berger. The rest of this lineup, but, not much interest.
Yeah, and Berger is third base eligible. He's not an outfielder or stuff like that. So if you're running a 5-2-1 or something, you can one off him. And I'll pay 4K for a guy that's got pretty much double digits in the past 8 games or something.
That's an insane game log. I mean, that game log is insane.
Yeah, I like riding hot streaks for sure. We're all believer in hot streaks here, so I like that. I'll go back to you for the next game, Hoop. The Pittsburgh Pirates, the St. Louis Cardinals, Mitch Keller and Zach Thompson on the mound. Got a 9.5 total. It is very warm in St. Louis. I think the Cardinals are one of the best stacks on the slate. What are your thoughts on talk about Pittsburgh?
Cardinals are one of the best stacks on the slate because, they're definitely coming in behind the Braves. They're definitely coming in behind the Toronto Blue Jays. There's no doubt about that. Toronto and Atlanta are going to be much higher owned than St. Louis, and St. Louis has a very similar, team total. So I love getting on the Cardinals. Cardinals probably come in behind Houston as well, who we haven't covered. We'll get to the Houston game. So they're probably like the 4th highest owned, and they have the same upside as those other teams. So it's definitely a spot I will be on. Again, another lineup where I think you can play. I'd be willing to play everyone in this lineup, I think. The catcher, what's his price on DraftKings? He
2-1.
is 2-1. I would play. I think this is a great lineup for stacking purposes. We get our guy Tyler O'Neill up in the 5-hole 3.3K. That's cheap. A really good price tag for Tyler O'Neill. And I'd play everyone in this lineup. So love the Cards, and then just not playing the Pirates. I guess you could play the leadoff guy as a punt if you want. He's 2.4K, second base eligible, but nowhere else here.
Yeah, I played the second baseman yesterday just to get by cheap, and I think he got like 13 or something. So I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, Tyler O'Neill, I mean, man, that price tag for his power. He swiped a bag yesterday too, so not going to quite say power speed combo, but hey, he got some stolen bases in the realm of possibilities. AP, what are your thoughts on St. Louis and Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I think I say this like every Monday when I'm on with you guys, but I still haven't played the Pirates yet this year. I'm not going to today, even against, Zach Thompson. And he looks like a decent prospect too. So it's going to be fun watching them. But big ballpark here. I'm going to echo a lot of what Hoop had to say. I'm going to be off this stack. I do think it gets a little bit of ownership against Mitch Keller. I'm just going to be off of them. Trust the big park here. And what'd you say the temperatures are going to be in St. Louis?
Like 100 or something. It's
100
feel like or something. It's gonna. Someone in chat said the index like 107. It's gonna be really warm.
Yeah,
it's humid.
Yeah, it's brutal here. So I should have figured that. So man, this is gonna be one of those spots where up to lock, I'm like rethinking it, looking at that weather because the balls are gonna be absolutely flying. So. I don't know. I mean, Gorman, he's been good. A little lefty against Mitch Keller. I could get behind him. Arenado and Goldschmidt, obviously, great bats. And looking at the prices here, too, some of these guys are cheap. So I think, I could definitely get behind a mini Cardinal stack in this spot against Mitch Keller.
Yep. I definitely like the Cardinals. I mean, anytime you see 100, and it's pretty humid there, that ball's going to fly. And I don't think Mitch Keller is great. So definitely sign me up for some Cardinals. AP, going to go back to you in this next game. San Diego Padres, Chicago Cubs, Yu Darvish and Justin Steele on the mound. There is some wins, but I believe they're cross wins. It doesn't look like they're bowling out to center or left or right, which obviously is important when it comes to Wrigley Field, but I believe they're cross wins. So not the biggest difference. I know people were talking about that in chat. But hey, it's a 9 total. Any interest here for you?
Yeah, temperatures look decent there. You could, so like you guys know how I play. I like to make stands, and this is just going to be one of those games that I'm probably off of. I'm kind of like you guys. I like to target Wrigley when the environment is good with winds blowing out. It looks like they're gently blowing in today, which I mean, is what it is. I don't know if it's going to impact it that much. So you could make the case to play some of these guys. I'm looking at it and I'm like, how do I play some of these guys over the spots that we already talked about that I like quite a bit? That, man, it just seems more likely that we're going to get run production out of them. So I'm going to be under on this game. And Darvish is just, while I was kind of torn on playing him, the one thing about him is just he can be tough. And like if you look at it, 3 of his last 4 games, he's gone 7 innings. Actually, take it out a little bit further. There's four starts there recently where he's gone 7 innings and then 6 innings. So, I mean, man, like he battles, and I don't know if I really want to stack against a pitcher that can battle like that. So definitely out the Cubs, and I'm not playing the Padres in this spot.
Yep, makes some sense. I mean, you can always play Manny Machado against the lefties. I wouldn't fault you for that at all, but you are paying for it a little bit, 5.4K. Anything besides Manny, Hoop, that you like in this game for bets?
Yeah, I think just Manny Machado. I mean, it's not a ton. I mean, I guess the team total for San Diego is pretty decent. I guess I could potentially play like Luke Voit, but I just don't like this line. I guess Austin Nola at catcher's cheap too. So, I mean, maybe a mini. How about that? I like a little mini action. I like Machado, Luke Voit, and then you get a catcher and Austin Nola for cheap. I actually like that little 3-man. I don't think I'd full stack here, but I do like that 3-man quite a bit, actually, now that I look at this lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I'll even add in if you want to go to the Ha-Seong Kim, because he's shortstop and he's 3.1K. I mean, you look at it, the totals came up for 8.5 to 9. Padres implied totals crept up a good amount, and it's warm. I think that's probably why. But man, they're also guaranteed the 9th inning of bat, and Chicago's bullpen doesn't scare me. So yeah, I think I can get behind a little San Diego mini stack. But Chado would be in that mini stack. That is for sure, though.
Yeah, I think we just talked ourselves onto some Padres tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you need low-owned stacks like that as a mini stack, and you can fill it out. There's that catcher, there's third base. Teams that just don't take up a bunch of outfield positions are valuable. So, yeah, I definitely like a little Padres. What do we got left? We got 4 games left on the slate. What do we got for likes? 600 watching, 260 likes, 40 more likes for the plays of the day, and that big red subscribe button to the bottom right too. We appreciate that. Takes 2 seconds. Thumbs up button, big red subscribe button. Everyone is happy. The plays of the day will be coming your way. So 4 games left to break down. We'll go to stacks and then the plays of the day when you guys get 300. Next game on the slate, Houston Astros, Texas Rangers, Christian Javier and Taylor Hearn on the mound. I'll go to you, AP. What are your thoughts for bats in this game?
Yeah, I mean, Taylor Hearn, hasn't looked that great this season. Really tough spot for him here. Gives up a lot of hard hits, fly balls. Do we know, is it closed there in Texas?
I haven't seen anything. I know people were talking about it in chat as well. If someone has that answer, I'll let you know, but I do not know off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm the worst about looking that up. Our boy Gary, and others usually post it in Discord. So we're gifted over here. It's quite nice. But if it's closed, I mean, that park is tough. But I do think that you could make a case for any of these Astros guys. I think I'm leaning under on them, but it would not surprise me at all to see, Altuve, Jordan, lefty. I'm fine with that. Hearn actually gives up a ton of hard contact to left. While he's better against lefties, decent strikeout rate, he does give up a good amount of hard contact to him as well. And no Jordan, it doesn't even matter, man. This dude is an absolute beast. So I'm going to say I'm on board with like a mini stack on the Houston Astros side. And I'm not, while I respect Texas and I like this lineup, and it's one that I do like to stack up. I don't know if I want to do it against Christian Javier, but I mean, Adolis Garcia, Seager, Semien, Calhoun, even Jonah Heim. Love these guys. I think they're great hitters. I think they're going to win I think more often than not this season, you should be looking at stacking them up because it looks like they go overlooked. And man, they have a ton of upside. Just that 1 through 5 stack right there.
Yep, absolutely do like it. Nobody in chat has talked about the roof. I went on their Twitter page and it said, escape the heat and come play in air conditioning at Family Field Day.
It's closed.
5 years.
It's definitely closed.
5 hours
ago.
It's
It's like what, 110 down there or something like that.
It's pretty hot for sure. So I'm going to go based on the assumption that it is closed as well. Hoop, I'll go to you. What are your thoughts for bats in this game?
I like the Astros obviously a little bit. I mean, it's just they're a tough team to really stack up. I always have trouble like finding good ways because like they got guys like Brantley in their lineup, just not much upside. You got Gurriel in there, just not much upside. So more times than not, I'm going to be on the AP side of things where I'm probably going to do mini stacks here, like Altuve, Bregman, Yordan Alvarez you can play. And then the last guy I like is Jeremy Pena, batting 7th, a lot of upside at the shortstop position. And his ownership's always low because of the spot in the lineup. So I think he's in play. And then like the last guy I think you could play is what's his name? Dubon. He's
Dubon's there, yep.
2K flat on FanDuel, shortstop eligible. So I think he's in play over there, but not my favorite team just because of the way they construct their lineup. So probably more just like minis or one-offs. You can play Alvarez every single night. Doesn't matter what pitcher he's facing. The guy just has massive, massive upside.
Yep, I agree. Brandon in chat said Astros chalk ? Like I said, I don't think you can just finger point to one team on this slate and be like, that is where the chalk, that's where everyone's going to go. If you like a team, just play the team. I would not worry about ownership. It's 10-game slate, multiple team totals over 5, pitching in all 3 different ranges. So, no, I'm not going to say anybody's chalk at the end of the day. Play who you like, and hey, that's what makes baseball great. Let's get to the next game. The Cincinnati Reds, the Arizona Diamondbacks, Mike Minor and Merrill Kelly on the mound, 8.5 total. Man, if Mike Minor is getting steam and going to get 25% ownership or something like that, I have interest in the Diamondbacks. Their total's up to 4.8K. It could be one of those spots. Hoop, you said you got 20 teams. Maybe some you have Mike Minor, maybe some you stack against them because of the price tag. I think that is viable. Would you do that today? Are you just going to fade Arizona, hope Mike Minor pitches a pretty solid game, and then talk about the Reds?
Yeah, one of those situations where I'm going to play the pitcher and Minor, and I'm going to stack against him as well in other lineups. I mean, you look at the total for the Diamondbacks, it's on the rise here. They have a lineup that I like. It's relatively cheap. You got Luplow leading off, 3.5K, 2.5K on FanDuel, really good
lefty
hitter
smasher.
Yeah, he's awesome against lefties. Rojas, Marte, you got Christian Walker cheap at 3.6, and then you got a cheap catcher in Carson Kelly at 3.1K. They're equally as cheap on FanDuel as well. So I'm on both sides of this, it's pretty rare. I mean, a lot of times when you play a pitcher, you're not gonna, play the offense as well. I'm not saying in the same lineup, definitely don't do it in the same lineup, but in separate lineups, it's in play today. Play Minor on some, and you can, play the Diamondbacks as well. I think it's a very solid move, and Luplow and Kelly probably my favorites on DraftKings because of those price tags.
Yeah, and it's a spot that I would do more, or that I pretty much would do, is if they're cheap. The pitcher, like I'm not playing Aaron Nola in 20 lineups and then stacking against him in a couple. I mean, if you're trusting a pitcher for that expensive, I would plant my flag there. But when he's 4.7K, I mean, Mike Minor is not some ace out there. Like you wouldn't be surprised if he gets blown up. So yeah, I think that's how I'd approach it in 20 entry, or if you're building more AP, you don't usually build 20 for MLB. What, you make a couple teams. So you're on Mike Minor. Does that mean Arizona you're just not interested in? And then any interest on the other side?
Yeah. So, I'm on Minor here, but I will say like Christian Walker has just been excellent against left-handed pitchers. So like he is one guy I would definitely look at here. Carson Kelly as well. My thing is just, man, scoring to 14 runs yesterday, traveling back home. I just think it's a letdown spot for bats. I'm going to trust Minor. I'm just going to make that stand there. I'm not going to flip flop on this spot. But if you don't trust Minor, you should definitely be considering an Arizona stack. And I'm not playing the Reds here against Merrill Kelly. You gotta think that the roof's going to be closed there too. It's really hot in Arizona. So.
Yeah, I definitely think the roof is closed. Eric said, do we have an official Cardinals lineup? We do. I'll read it off to you quick. Tommy Edman, Nolan Gorman, Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, Tyler O'Neill, Brendan Donovan, Juan Yepes, Dylan Carlson, and then Andrew Knizer down there. So the Cardinals lineup is out. What do we got? 2 games left. Looking at the likes, 288 likes. You guys are going to get it done for us. We appreciate that. Hit that big red subscribe button while you're at it too. 600 watching, 288 likes. 2 games left. Talking stacks, and we'll give the plays of the day and then get on out of here for the premium show. Next game on the slate, Kansas City Royals, the San Francisco Giants, Brady Singer and Alex Wood on the mound. It's only right that I go to you, AP. Any Royals or Giants for you?
Yeah, the one reason why I'm under on Alex Wood, who I do think is going to get some ownership, is, man, Bobby Witt has just been incredible. And you got Salvi Perez, who's hitting lefties, just really good right now. He's starting to wake up. No one's going to play him. This is one of those spots where, like that build I was talking about, or that, I was talking about with Hoop, where you double punt. I want a guy like Salvi Perez, who's going to be like 1% owned, versus like Kirky, who I also like, but who's going to be probably 10 times that. And some of these other catchers that are going to get tons of ownership too. Salvador Perez has a ton of power to get it out of this park. I'm not worried about that at all. It's more of just the matchup there. It gets left-handed pitching. He's just been incredible. So for me, this is just one of those spots where I'm looking at like a Salvi Perez, like one-off in a double punt pitcher type of build where we're looking for power, guys that can hit, 2 bombs in one game. So Salvi Perez, Bobby Witt, those would be the guys that I'm on. Tough to play any other Royals here. MJ Melendez, I would like to get there, but man, Wood has been good against lefties. So I think that matchup is going to be very tough. Brady Singer is like the lone guy for the Royals that has actually been somewhat decent. They have no one else outside of him. I'm not playing him, especially against the Giants. But if he's pitching good, they're going to let him go. So I think it's a tough spot for the Giants here. But if you like the Giants, I would not talk anyone off of it because this Royals team is not good. If they can get to Singer early, the bullpen sucks, and the Giants could get going here. But for me, it's Salvador Perez. I think he's one of the most interesting one-offs on the slate.
Yeah, this total has come down as the day went on. It's sitting at about 7.5 now. Hoop, I'm personally not on really any bats. I think we've crossed off a couple games. It's not one of the spots where the weather looks very, very warm. What is it? Yeah, I'm seeing like 60 degrees right now. So any interest in bats for you in this one?
I think the only guy you can make a case for is Salvador Perez. I just, the total is low in this game. Team total for KC is very low. It would just be, probably Perez as a one-off. Then the Giants, they're just a tough team for fantasy. Like they sub these guys in and out so frequently. If a left-hander comes in, a couple of these lefty outfielders are getting wiped out right away. It's just a team I've been avoiding, honestly, for that. It seems like they have like 30 guys on their bench that are just waiting to come in and they just keep cycling through them. It just seems like nonstop. So I don't know. I'm not playing them. If any slate from now on, the Giants score 15, I'm probably losing because I just can't play this team the way their roster's set up.
Yeah, I hear you. There's plenty of other good teams to roster on this slate where if either of these teams beat me on a full stack, put up a crooked number, you can just go on it tomorrow. That's the beauty of DFS. Last game on the slate, we got the Minnesota Twins. We got the Seattle Mariners. Chris Archer and Chris Flexen back on the mound. I'm not even going to talk on this game. And I see Chris Archer's name just hurts my feelings from what he's done to the Yankees and these other teams. Hoop, talk about this game.
Yeah, I see it's getting some love. People are kind of on it. For me, it's just not a game for me. Like in a ballpark that favors pitching, nothing stands out as, being a great standout play. The Twins frustrate the hell out of me. Buxton was it last couple games ago, had the 2 homers. He had a nice little stretch, 3-game stretch where he's on fire.
Yeah.
Maybe you can play him a little bit, but I just like these outfielders on these other teams. And I don't know, like you said, Archer's been frustrating to pick on because I've tried a few times. It hasn't worked out. Flexen, I think, is good enough to limit the damage. I'm off this game as well.
Yeah, Byron Buxton, he's below 5K. So if you want to use him as he could get some ownership again. I'm not too worried about ownership in MLB DFS, especially today. It's more of a Coors slate or Wrigley win game or something like that. But he is below 5K. He's on fire. So 4.9 for Buxton makes some sense. AP, what are your thoughts for bats in this game?
Yeah, Flexen, gives up a lot of hard hits, fly ball pitcher. So I think you can make the case for Byron Buxton here. The other thing too about Flexen, just hasn't been as good against right-handed hitting as well. So you could go like Buxton, Correa, Sanchez, maybe Miranda if you need a cheap guy, and you got a little Minnesota stack there. I don't mind that at all. I'm kind of, man, Chris Archer, like I'm with you guys. I've stacked him against him a bunch of times, and it's burned me. I do like the Mariners, though. Man, these guys like Cal Raleigh is in there. Dude just hits bombs. Toro's been okay. JP Crawford. I like these guys, and I always, I'm always kind of tempted to play them. So
I wish Julio Rodriguez was in the lineup.
Yeah, we don't. That's what I was gonna say. We don't have Julio. He's just an absolute stud. Big downgrade there to this lineup, and it just with that bat gone, I feel like it just is going to increase the confidence in a guy like Chris Archer, who's like using mirrors or whatever to get it done. So I'm going to be off of the Mariners too. So just kind of a tough spot there. But Raleigh, he's been a guy that's like just gotten it done for me this year. So nice tournament play if you want to go there.
Yep, I like it. Let's see what the likes are at. We got 299 likes. Well, you're lucky right now because we got the stacks. AP and Hoop are going to give their top 3 stacks. Then after that, if we do not have one like by then, 299 will not get it done. But I know someone out there just been waiting to be the last one to hit that like button and push it over, and we'll get to the plays of the day then. AP, give me your top 3 stacks, and then if they're all kind of 5 implied total or above, I want a contrarian stack in there as well as the 4. So I guess 4 with 1 being contrarian.
Yeah, I know. I'm usually pretty contrarian when it comes to MLB. Not necessarily the case tonight. I mean, I love the Braves, obviously. Love Blue Jays, Nationals as well. I would say those are my top stacks. But like my one contrarian one, I mean, I like that Minnesota one I talked about. But the Royals too. Just not like a full stack, but Salvi Perez mainly, and then Bobby Witt in there too. Just maybe like a mini stack of those guys could be kind of interesting against a lefty and Alex Wood.
I like it. I will say Cardinals is my favorite, and then I'm going to say the Diamondbacks. Man, I expect Minor to get ownership, and when I see a 4.8 implied total, I like how you can stack the D-backs. So those will be my 2. Hoop, give me your 4 stacks, one of them being contrarian.
Yeah, I mean, I like the popular. It's tough to not like the Braves and the Blue Jays tonight. It's really tough not to like those 2 teams. I think they're in a very strong spot. I like that Padres mini that we talked about. You get the cheap catcher, you get Manny Machado, who has unlimited upside, and then Luke Voigt, who down season overall, but he's a power bat. So I like that little mini, and then the Nationals. I mean, it seems like the Nationals, pop up out of nowhere and score, 10 or 12. And it's nice because it's usually concentrated around the middle of their lineups. The guys that are going to do it. They shouldn't be all that highly owned tonight. They all come in pretty low ownership. So the Nats are a team that I'm interested in as well.
I like it. Let's see what the likes are at. 325. That's what I like to see. That's impressive. That's nice. How you make a push. We always appreciate it. That big red subscribe button as well. We always do appreciate. As Simon just said in chat, nice job, guys. We always do appreciate it. So getting right into it, AP, the gentleman's call of the day. Give us the first winner.
Yeah, I didn't want to give this one out there, but I feel pretty good about it. It doesn't matter. I think he's just going to be absolutely unknown. But so Alex Wood, I was talking about him. He throws a slider and he throws a fastball sinker. 2 balls that Salvi Perez just absolutely mashes. If you go and look at his long-term numbers, the dude crushes those 2 pitches. He's going yard tonight. I think he's going to be the top scoring catcher.
I love it. Yeah, 1%, 2%, something like that, I think. I'll go to myself with the SO play of the day. I'm going to go to my favorite stack in the Cardinals. I'm going to go a little down the order, though. Give me Juan Yepez sitting there in the 7 hole as the SO play of the day. Hit a homer yesterday. He's got some power. Man, I think the Cardinals put him on it today. So Juan Yepez, the SO play of the day. Hoop, the Rich Parents play of the day. Who do you got for us?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the Blue Jays, but I'm going to go down to the bottom. I'm going to go with the guy I think all of us kind of liked and talked highly about. Should not be all that highly owned. Lourdes Gurriel is going to be the Rich Parents play of the day. I think he gets us a bomb tonight.
I like it. Gurriel, Yepez, Salvi Perez, the 3 plays of the day. If you're not a member and you want to check it out, you want to see who DC's on for pitching takes today, you want to see who BigT, JSU are on for NBA Showdown with the big prize pools, you do have to be a member. It is premium content. RPS Heater 25 gets you 25% off. It was a very fun show. Mike Carr, Corey Pooler, Beanie Hanna, Butthole Jenkins, Uzi, liking in chat. We all appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We'll be here every single day, Monday through Friday. Skip Saturday, back on Sunday as always. But we appreciate you all hanging out with us. Looking to see some RPS logos up top on this 10-game slate. We're heading over to the live show chat for the premium show. We'll catch y'all over there. Thank you for hanging out. For Hoop, AP, Simon Behind the Sticks, I'm Titletown. Good luck, everybody.